Hey, good morning, everybody. So I had wonderful sleep last night, and and anyways, that's great, right? Well, welcome to Jilly Juice. Okay, my name is Jillian Epperly, and I am the creator of Jilly Juice. It's an early morning this morning, so no, I'm not looking my 100% best, but that is not the point of this. I am racking my head to try to figure out what exactly I wanted to say this morning. So I was thinking yesterday, and I was talking to Kevin and we were talking about and collaborating about the book, and I gave him some instructions that we definitely cannot make any kind of direct association that the juice does this, 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 and this. We can say that after my experience with the juice, I did have this result, this result, this result, and therefore now I have no issues, or I'm still dealing with an issue and the juice hasn't addressed it yet. So what I said is that we need to separate our belief system from what the juice can do. So then I'm like, I actually get it now. When someone told me a while ago, correlation is not causation. Correlation is not causation at all. And so we need to question all of the correlative arguments to cancer, disease, and chronic illness. And that is going to include all the chemtrails, all the vaccines, the 5G, as well as Jilly Juice, because people are associating that they're getting all these different diseases and issues from Jilly Juice. So now we're got to look at, okay, there are so many factors that contribute to cancer, disease, and chronic illness that we can't say any one specific thing is the reason why somebody is suffering or somebody is mutated. Now, obviously, we can make inferences and say, okay, well, there's a factor here. But it still comes down to it was never in a controlled setting, and you don't know the history of this person or what they're doing, right? So now I cannot, of course, ever say that my juice could 100% do this if you do it right. But what is this? Reverse cancer, disease, and chronic illness, reverse the aging process, reverse or regrow organs, limbs, and all that, right? I can't say that because there's no way I can guarantee it. And legally, until there is a controlled circumstance where they have somebody in a lab with double-blind studies and placebo stuff, right, whatever, then you can't officially say that as an advertising. However, my website, the reason why my website exists is because now we are learning through my book how the human body works. We're understanding the laws of the immune system, how it actually works. And we are now understanding what the positive and negative elements are in our society. Once you actually write down everything that you're exposed to, and then everything that you're eating, right? As well as factor in the laws of your immune system, you will take a look and see, really, are you ahead of the 8 ball or headed towards ahead of the 8 ball? Or will you forever be putting yourself behind the 8 ball? And so when you look at the chemtrails out there, right? And then you're like, oh, we're going to die. And I've seen people say, oh, we're going to die from chemtrails. But you're not dead yet. So obviously the chemtrails are not killing you, because if the chemtrails were killing you, we would all be dead and everybody on earth would be dead. So if you're having a sickness, there's something else going on in your world that is causing all of your cancer, disease, and chronic illness. You can't blame it on the chemtrails. So let's take that out of the equation, right? Because remember, correlation is not causation. let's look at the whole vaccines. Now there's a huge platform with the whole anti-vax, pro-vax movement, right? Oh yeah, it's going to stop disease. Oh yeah, no, it's going to create disease, all right? I mean, you have these arguments that are basically negating each other. So it's just it neutralizes the argument. There's no argument anymore because everybody is about pretty much split down the middle. So now we got to say, okay, there are people that have received vaccines and never died. There are people that have received vaccines and passed away. So is correlation is not causation. Now you got to look at then, are the vaccines violating the immune system? But even if it was, and a person isn't dead, what would be your argument then? Because it's not in a controlled circumstance. You don't know the history of the person. And you don't know how many negative elements are taken in. Because once we've broken down in my website, in my group, and in my book, I broke down what negative elements are, antibiotics and specific lifestyles. Then we can start making certain associations and then start taking, surveys of what is going on with our body, and then producing the results or, communicating the results to people. Okay, so even the whole vaccine debate needs to be thrown out because we can't 100% say that chemtrails is causing all the cancer, disease, and chronic illness. And we can't 100% say without a shadow of a doubt that vaccines are causing everything horrible in the world because people have received vaccines. Maybe they are, but there's no 100% proof that people are dying or they have issues from the vaccines because there's no direct correlation. Because there's some people that receive vaccines and they have a different lifestyle and they're able to purge out those antigens and they're fine. And then the whole thing with the 5G. If you're not dead by contact 100%, the 5G is not going to kill you. Jilly Juice. People have taken Jilly Juice. Nobody has died from a direct result of Jilly Juice. There are people that had a lot of factors that contribute to their death and they were in hospice, and Jilly Juice was one of their factors in there, but it wasn't the sole reason why that person passed away. Because we don't know what this person did prior. I mean, there are things that told us what he did, which was like drinking pineapple juice and stop the protocol, but there's still no 100% proof. That's why you can't hold anyone accountable. We can't hold the chemtrails, the EPA accountable. We can't hold the vaccine industry accountable. We can't hold 5G accountable. We can't hold Jilly Juice accountable for any deaths or destruction in this world. So now we have to understand the positive and negative elements in the world and the laws of the immune system. And once you understand that, and then you understand what's in Jilly Juice, then you can make the best decision possible for you and your family, and then you will annotate your results and then act accordingly. And that is what my website is about, is people understanding what Jilly Juice is comprised of. And it's listed all out in my book, why they are positive elements. As far as what the claims that I have made in the past that I'm not allowed to say anymore as a direct correlation, it remains to be seen. You tell us. But nobody can die from positive elements. A direct correlation to positive elements. It's basically impossible to die when you are aligning your body. So now we have to look at all the negative elements that we are exposing ourselves to relative to all the positive elements that we are trying to get into our body. And then we're going to see exactly the outcome. And I have a lot of testimonies of people loving my information and loving the Jilly Juice. And then I have a lot of testimonies of people saying, oh my God, it's so dangerous, that haven't even tried it. Okay, fine. Don't do it. But correlation is not causation. And so that's why I can never make the claims that I've made in the past. But here's the thing, it's not illegal to have a belief system. So as long as my belief system and the science behind my Jilly Juice is not being connected as a direct result, then it's perfectly fine, because my belief system is not going to give you the 100% proof that you need to know 100% this is going to do this. Because belief systems are not controlled circumstances. They're not controlled conditions. Now, I can justify my belief system, which I believe I had, but that is not within the confines of the law, because you cannot say that even a possibility that my juice can do this. You can explore all the elements that are in my protocol and make the best decision, and you can look at how I plead my case in my book, as well as what videos you've seen. But I can never say without a shadow of a doubt 100% that my juice can reverse autism, regrow organs, regrow limbs, reverse all cancer, disease, and chronic illness. So you're going to have to make that decision for yourself by reading my book and seeing if the case that I pled resonates with you. And some people, in order for them to do anything, need to have something that is backed by academia in a lab, tested on a human subject, already, already in the periodicals. They want to see somebody that regrow a limb. Well, here's the thing. There's no way for me to ever prove any of that claims as far as regrowing limbs until people understand where I'm coming from. And then maybe they do it, and then maybe it happens. But just like anything, right? You don't know who people are until they've, documented their whole journey that has substantial paperwork to then prove. And they'll be able to withstand all of the backlash, because let me tell you, anybody that comes out that says, oh, I regrow a limb is going to get attacked. No doubt about it. But I was talking to the FTC guy yesterday, and I really want to be compliant. I'm not someone that wants to just go against the system so much to where I paint myself in a corner. No, I still want to give this opportunity to everybody, but I can't legally say certain things because, it's against the law. And so I had my own programming I had to peel away. And it was a struggle. It's difficult when you have a belief system that you think the chemtrails are killing you, right? That was one layer of programming I really had to get away from. And then the whole thing with the vaccines. Oh, I hate vaccines too. But it's not, we can't safely 100% say that vaccines are the reason why you have autism, because there are people that didn't get a vaccine that still had autism. And since we don't know that whole background of the person, what other elements they were exposed to that could contribute to that, we cannot say 100% that every single person who has autism was vaccinated. But there are a lot of, very, strong evidence to suggest, but if that were the case, then they wouldn't be giving vaccines out, right? Because remember, correlation is not causation. There are unvaccinated people that have cancer, disease, and chronic illness. And then you got to look at the laws of the immune system and maybe why it is they have cancer, disease, and chronic illness and autism, and they were never vaccinated. Okay? So, but believe me, I still have a belief system around vaccines, but it's not a lawful belief system. Belief systems are like a-holes. Everybody has them. Can you back it up really truly and say 100% guarantee that you know for a fact in controlled conditions that that vaccine caused this, right? because nobody comes into this world 100% pristine. They're coming in with mutations, whether it's from vaccines or something else that they're exposed to. So we don't know 100%. So that makes sense. But I still, knowing about the positive and elements in the world, I still wouldn't give my kid a vaccine or myself. And then the 5G, we don't know. I mean, look, if 5G ever was implemented in your world, just like the 4G, just like Wi-Fi, if you're not dead yet, then you have recourse. It's not a direct reason why, because you have to still look at the positive and negative elements. It all comes down to how many positive elements you're taking in relative to how many negative elements that are coming at you at the same time. And if you are not actually taking in the right kind of positive elements, and I'm not going to say what the right kinds are because you can do your research on that, given that you're on my website, then yeah, you're going to succumb to all the negative elements. And that includes all of these crazy activist stuff that says that you're dying from chemtrails. And then you're seeing somebody put in all these antibiotics on their skin, right? They're taking in baking soda and they're putting essential oils on their skin as they are actively aging and working out. And they're blaming it on the chemtrails. So you see how asinine some of these arguments are that are out there because they don't understand correlation is not causation and understand the positive and negative elements. And then there's Jilly Juice. Go research what Jilly Juice is. Research all of the components. Understand the elemental composition of the human body. Read my book. Then you can make you can make the most educated decision on whether or not you want to partake with Jilly Juice. And then you buy the book, you send us the receipt, we'll get you into the discussion forum. You can ask all the questions you want. You can circulate with like-minded people and get support through whatever journey that you're going through under anonymity. Because we know that Facebook is not a safe place for anybody exploring different ideas. So that's why the discussion forum exists. So that is the whole purpose of my website. So, I'm going to list out all the negative elements that are in our world. And then my book pleads the case to the positive elements. And then you can make a decision based upon your knowledge of anatomy and physiology and get your mind out of all this activist stuff and realize there are rules in our society. If you don't know 100% in a controlled circumstance, there's no way that we can make any kind of claims, no matter what they are. Jilly Juice can't make claims, neither can the chemtrails activists, neither can the vaccine activists, neither can 5G. Nobody can make claims because there are so many factors that contribute to people's situations. All right, so I appreciate the FTC giving me the exact language and the exact stuff of why it is I can't say. And I'll tell you, I had a hard time with it. The guy knew I was struggling with what was in this letter because I had a belief system. I've been brainwashed for a long time. I've brainwashed myself. When I'm reading stuff on the internet and taking part in the truther community and being this conspiracy theorist, right, for such a long time. So now I have to take this back to science yet once again. Positive and negative elements. And what are the positive elements and what are the negative elements? And then you do the math and the laws of the immune system, which is anatomy and physiology. You put all those three together and then you'll figure out what your best course of action is going to be. But first you must understand chemistry, the elements, and your body. And get off all of these political platforms that serve to distract. That's what it comes down to. Get off the platforms, get off the activists, because you ain't doing yourself any favors. You can have the best life in this system that we have, as imperfect as it is. if you get your internal universe balanced. And how you do it, you'll do your research. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. And I'm putting this on my website. So yes, the government is going to see this because I know the FTC guy is going to be watching me, and it's fine. But I get it. There can't be even any indirect correlation to my Jilly Juice and the claims that I've made. But I can still have a belief system. That is not illegal. And I will forever stay with my belief system. Whether or not my belief system is backed up by my protocol, it's irrelevant. Those two are completely diametrically opposed in the world of law and science. Because if I can say Jilly Juice is the answer, then people can say that Jilly Juice is not the answer. And that's why I'm not being held accountable for alleged deaths that are out there of somebody in hospice. Okay? So, do your research, guys. Go buy the book, read the science, and then you can make a decision what's best for you and your family. All right. Have a great day. Bye-bye.